I've done a tutorial before we get going on the ribbon, are there any questions of what you're working on currently?
I have a question. So in the pictures that you sent of the finished piece, the little, what do you call those little things? The little gray things look like they're beads.
She did beads. She actually did like a faux, she used a faux, she went to Michael's or something and used that whole thing is even the stem. So it's not really a bow. You know how you get those little berry, she used faux florals. So you know how you could do something like that. I preferred not to. You know, I saved it for the flower as regards to the embellishment of what we put on there, as opposed to going all over the place with it. So, but you're welcome to, and if you do that, you're gonna have to couch it down. You're just gonna have to be careful of what you choose and couch it down. You're going to break them apart and couch them down and stuff like that. So the reason this class started, and I'll say it again, the reason why this class started is because we were sitting in a class with Mark Craddock, and one of the customers saw the canvas and said, "Oh, we should do that one." And I went, "Oh God, when?" And she goes, "Will you do this class?" Because she had shown me the picture of the one that was completed, and this is the one. So we kind of took from that and we did our own stuff on a couple other things. So, but you're most welcome to do a bead. So you know by now that a guide is just a guide. It's not a mandate. So if there's something you want to add to it, go for it. If something you don't want to add to it, don't do it. It's all about it, because it comes out to be your design, not everybody else's. Okay, next question.
I had a question.
Yes.
In doing the jars, and I didn't see it in the photos because that part wasn't done at the very top, especially on the left jar, mason jar.
Yeah.
Did you continue doing the Alicia's lace to the very top, or did you do
No,
some horizontal with the ridge?
We did two rows of continental. Okay. And so we did the top row of continental in that same thread, and we did the third row down. Hold on. I'm going to
see where there's like on the thing.
I'm going to show you. Let's see if this works. Well, that. Hi, Jill. Okay. So right there.
Exactly.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. We did one row. Let me see if I can pin it. Okay. Is that clearer?
Yeah, so you skipped the canvas, you just did the two blue rows.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Because in theory, what's going to happen is the flower is going to go over it.
Right. But that's why I'm like, but I just thought that the Alicia's lace going over it looked a little odd. And I'm like, well, I won't do that one section. So, okay. Thank you.
Oh, I could have given you some. All right. So Jill just walked in.
You got to take it off that.
And that's what she did for her berries. Is that a button?
No, it's a bead.
It's a bead that she found.
Where'd you find it?
Where'd you find it?
That's so cute.
And then she did beads for her entire jars. She's a little disgusting.
Except every
Wow.
should have some.
Okay.
Fire Mountain gems and beads.
Oh, I need Fire Mountain gems and beads. Leave that out. We'll go ahead and do that. Is where she got her, because I need to look through that anyway, is where she get that. And I'll show that. Hold on. We'll go back to my regular video. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Your leaves are beautiful.
So this is where Jill is.
But she also did different patterns up here in her leaves that are gorgeous.
Thanks.
Okay, so that's where Jill is. So, because one of you, Sue, you were asking about beads. So, okay, start video. And then I'm going to go to, all right, so I'm going to take it over to the USB and we'll go over, so this is what the flower looks like once it's on. I still have to do more beads within it. All right. And you're going to die at how easy this is. Serious. Okay.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's really, so what I did is I cut a strip, I don't know, about my arm's length, maybe a tiny bit more of this, which I know is too much. Okay. I kind of because it's a wire ribbon, and I'm going to come back here before we get on there. Because it's a wire ribbon, you can play with it in your hands. All right. And you can kind of just get the feel of the wire first before doing anything else, because once you let it go, it's just not going to stay. The other thing I would do is I would thread a beading needle, and I would thread, and I'm going to send you guys out some beads. Well, Sue, I'll keep yours here, but I'm going to send you some beads that I picked up. I had trouble finding beads that I liked, and I'm going to thread some floss. It doesn't matter what you use. You're using this for basting. All right. So once your flower is in, you're going to baste it in a couple areas so it stays in place until you have your ribbon down. And then the other thing is I went back afterwards, and there's a couple places on the flower that I actually basted down. All right. And I let it form itself. Jill's just kind of looking at me like, what? Right.
What are you thinking, Jill?
So I'm thinking I'm gonna do Japanese flower stitches. Even
Okay.
if it's off canvas, and put them together.
You could absolutely do that. You might want to use a smaller ribbon,
Yeah, I might.
because I'm not sure how you would put this in the needle.
You would need to fold it over multiple times and use a
Tapestry.
yarn needle.
Yeah. So Jill's very clever, obviously. More clever than I am. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to take this, and I'm going to play with it down in here. And you want to have at least 5 petals, because your petals are always uneven. And you can use both the yarn that I gave you, or both the ribbons I gave you, or one of them, or whatever. I just used one color. I used the off-white on this, and I thought that it was enough to give me what I wanted. All right, let me just play with this a little bit. And see how I'm kind of twisting it as I go around? And then I have whatever's left over. And I'm going to put it down. And then I'm going to play with it a little bit more before I baste it. Like this, I don't like over here. So I'm going to scrunch that in a little bit. This one is a little bit big for me. So I'm going to go back and play with it. And I haven't done anything to anything. I haven't put a thread in at all at this point. All I'm doing is gathering. That one I kind of like.
That one's beautiful.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm going to do it so I can cover most of it. What I did say on the tutorial is somebody might, on the edges, you might want to, on the edges, do some stitching. But I think if you do this right, you can cover it so you don't have to stitch. And I know that sounds weird, but okay. I'm going to pull this over here.
Do you need scissors?
Yeah, I forgot my scissors because I wasn't thinking.
Do these work, or do you want big scissors?
No, these are fine right now. Okay. So right now I have 5 petals. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it under just a tiny bit. I do need scissors. I don't care which scissors.
Here. I'll get you bigger ones.
I'm going to fold it. I'm going to cut it because I don't need all of it. And I knew that I cut too much. And you're going to cut it so much nicer than I'm cutting it. Those little scissors are supposed to be incredibly sharp, but they're not doing the job that I want them to. Neither is this one. What happened to good fabric scissors? Okay, then I'm gonna take this one underneath and I'm gonna roll it underneath. So that little edge is not showing. All right. So that's what your center kind of looks like at this point. Then I'm gonna take my needle that I put the thread on, this one here, and I'm gonna start underneath. What you've got to realize is that you have a wired ribbon. So if you're struggling to get your thread through, it's because of the wire underneath. And so you kind of have to move it around. And all you're really trying to do is baste it down at this point. These little threads will be covered. Apparently I have a water wire. Okay. These little threads will be covered once you put beads in. Okay, this does not want to go through.
To another needle.
It really doesn't want to go through. And for some reason, this thread does not want to go through this morning or this afternoon or whatever it is. So I've kind of lifted it a little bit, putting it through. Inch by inch. I think what I need is a chenille needle because it's really sharp. And just be patient with it because it will go, oh, it went through. Just be patient with it. And you've got it in position right there. Okay. And if I not patient with it, it's just going to kind of find its way out. And that's the last thing you want. Bring it up again. Okay. Put it into another hole. And do that a few times. Okay, just to keep it in place. Okay, hold on. This worked better yesterday on the or Sunday on the tutorial, guys. And just like I said, be patient with it. Okay, there you go. And it's in. Okay. So right now I have it, and I can go back and I can reposition these later on the way that I want them to reposition. All right. But what I want to do first is get in a couple of these so it doesn't unravel, because that's the hardest part, I think, is when it does unravel. And honestly, I didn't have it happen on the first one. I'll have it happen on this because I'm online. Okay, hold on. I'm going through.
That's a good thing. That way we're not surprised when it happens to us.
Right. Okay. So all you're going to do is tack it down. And I'm going to leave my needle back there for now, or up here. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just start putting in beads. And I just took a series of beads, and you're going to do a messy bead. So you can do 5 to 6 beads you can do 5 to 6 beads to start, and then go back and do it again. And then again and again until you get the look that you want. Okay. So you pull your needle up, you put whatever you want on for beads. Half of them end up on the floor. Does that happen to you?
Yes.
And I'll send you, like I said, I'm going to send you a bunch of beads. You're going to have a choice of what you want. I have little packets that I'll send out of various different kinds, depending on the look that you want. When I found these, I'm like, oh, those will work. And they're one's kind of olivey, like a olivey gunmetal type of thing. And the other one is just a gold. And I always make sure it's a little uneven. Put your beads in. You can see the beads there. And then just bring it down. And the object is to cover your basting, cover whatever you basted. And that's what it looks like once it's. Can you see that?
Mhm.
Yep,
Okay, so that's what it looks like. And you're just going to continue to go round and round until you get to what you want. If you know that's more than one cluster there, and I'm still going to do another cluster. Okay, once you've done all your beading, you're going to go back and you're going to tack down. Like what I'll do is I'm going to tack down a little bit of this one here so it doesn't come off up the canvas. All right, what I'll do is I'll shape it to the way that I want. And then so it doesn't come off the canvas, I will definitely put a couple of little stitches in. They don't have to be perfect underneath your thread.
That's not.
So I'll go in from underneath. I'm going to pull this underneath. And I don't really care where it goes because all I'm interested in doing is covering the empty canvas. And you won't be able to see it when it's in.
yeah, because it's underneath and it's not the top layer.
Right, right.
Right.
So, and then I'm going to go back, put this in. And then just do it as far as until I feel comfortable. And then once it's all basted, absolutely go in and reshape them the way that you want it. And then you're done.
So what are you gonna finish that as? A pillow or?
Pillow.
Apparently
Pillow.
we're doing a pillow.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be beautiful in the store.
But that's
It is.
really, I mean, obviously we'll be careful with it. I don't think I think the frame would have to be too deep.
Yeah, right.
But once you do that, and you can add more leaves if you want before you get to the beading, but, or petals or whatever you call them. But after you do that, it should be, this one's fairly secure. This one is very secure. So I don't think you're going to have a problem and you won't be able to see it. All right. And if you need, and like I said, I have the tutorial. I'm going to put that out along with this. So if you have any questions in between, let us know. And you will get, they'll go out today or tomorrow, your packets. And because I went to Michael's, I went to Hobby Lobby, I went to online, I did all of that because I wasn't finding what I liked in our store. And then of course, Sunday when I came in and I'd forgotten everything, I'm like, oh, that works. These are size 8. All right. So it's a bigger, in order to see what you want to see, a size 11 is too small. You want a size 8. Some of you might find a really pretty button that you like. I just didn't find anything that was hitting me. And if I found something, I only found one and I couldn't find a dozen. So you might find something that you really like. And I kind of left that up to you. So anyway, we're just going to cover the rest of that and that one is done. Any questions?
It looks great.
It
Lisa,
does.
it's a little easier than the ribbons on the lady.
Yes, yes, it is.
I mean, because
I'm up for the challenge of the size.
You can really meld, because of this is wire, you can really meld it to the way you want to meld it.
Nice. Now, the idea that you sent us the 2 colors of ribbon, was that to choose, or at one point were you considering like the outer petals one shade and the inner petals another?
At one point I was considering, and then I just said, no. And I went with the more creamy one as opposed to the white on white.
But you could do both.
You could absolutely do both.
Or you could
Right.
have
Okay.
one in each of the 2 colors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
One in each. You could have one white and then 2 ivories, or
Whatever you
2
want.
ivories and 1 white.
Whatever you want.
Right. No 2 are identical. So, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I basically bought everything the store had. So yeah.
We love your diligence. It's wonderful. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. So that's it. And if you have any questions on any of it, let us know. And I know, Sue, you're gonna be in town, so this will be in the store. And maybe what I'll do is wait to show you how to do, if you get to the flower, you've got a ways to go. The flowers are the last thing that are done. You always
Right.
do your ribbon and your beading last. Because and the reason, there's two reasons for that. Other things can be an anchor to that thread, even though there's no anchor where we're putting these flowers. But typically you're looking for an anchor, especially when you're doing smaller flowers and everything. And Lisa, you learned this when we did the ladies, is that's why you do your ribbon last, even though there was a lot of open work on those ladies.
Right.
So leaving it to the last two, that way you don't destroy it either. You know, you kind of, because you want it to be left alone once it's done. And you don't want to lose the oomph. And if we're going to make this into a pillow, I think it's probably going to go to Barbara's, which means it's 6 to 9 months out. But that's okay. I mean, I've gotten used to the fact that it comes back when it's only needlepoint. It comes back when it comes back.
And then you're so surprised when it comes.
You're like, oh, I mean, there are things that have been sitting at the finisher for so long that I didn't even know I had them there.
Right.
All right. And I'm like, I have this there. Oh, I have this there. This made the deadline, really? So that's where the brain is at. It's just kind of like whenever it comes in, it comes in. So
Because you should have seen her the other day when the tooth fairy pillow came in, and she was like a little kid in a candy store, so excited about it.
and
And she was like, "Oh, it's in!"
I have to give it up.
And then she was like, and the whole box was just her pillow. And we're all like, "Oh,
Nice. I had a
Yeah.
question on finishing. I know I don't want to frame it because I can't figure out how to do it. Like you had said, it's too thick. But could it be finished? I don't know what to call it. I guess like a sign, you know, almost like an ornament, a
Absolutely.
large ornament.
Absolutely. Flat back, puffy front.
Right, exactly.
And then you just do, that would be really pretty as well. And just do a hanger on it.
Right.
Yep.
You have any
Okay.
thoughts?
Because that's what I was
That's right.
envisioning. And I thought, is that
Okay.
even possible? This size?
Yeah, that is absolutely possible.
When
And that'd be really pretty.
we never
Okay.
talked about framing, we never talked about finishing, but I saw when I was in picking up the beads that there was one option to buy it and one to finish it. In your mind's eye, how were you gonna finish it?
A pillow, that was for a pillow.
Okay.
Okay, but absolutely you could do it as a hanging, and that would be super pretty. And that would fall into the pillow range anyway. So yeah. And the only reason why I did finishing on it was because people had asked. But that to get it finished like that is probably about 150 to 175 because of the size of it.
Yep.
So
Okay.
And you guys, I'll text you next week. So if you have any questions, I'll email you. If you guys have any questions, and then we can try to answer them then.
Okay.
That's-
or in between, if you have emails,
You have my email, you have Michelle's email.
Mhm.
Yep.
you have my text, some of you have my cell phone, it's all good.
You guys can call, do whatever.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You can
Yes.
send pros, whatever you want. And I promise I'll have a new headband on. I have multiple.
Why does
Well,
that?
Why am I
Well,
not surprised?
Oh, boy, and you don't even know me. And you should see the store. I decorated it all quickly.
Quickly,
Oh, then you need to come to my house. I haven't started yet.
Oh, I did the store today.
Oh,
hadn't gotten to the store. I barely got to the house.
yeah.
So,
Santa
right.
came in. So you guys, it's really fun. If you guys have any questions, call us. And we'll, like Michelle said, we'll get these beads out to y'all. If anyone's missing anything, let us know before we send out the package.
and I think we're good.
Yeah,
That's
it was,
great.
well, thank you.
Totally
you.
fun
Thank
project.
you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Did I not record it?